We're just getting older, world is getting colder. Trying to get sober, Lord help me get stronger. World is on my shoulders.
How you doing today? This is the 12 and 12 podcast, a podcast about real life recovery, growth and development, redemption, because that's what this is about. And if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, do me a favor, tap that subscribe button and share for more. Also, if you or a loved one or a friend happens to suffer from substance abuse disorder or severe mental illness, do not hesitate to reach out and contact First Step Recovery today. You see the names up top, the number. Don't hesitate to reach out to our outreach specialist, Will. He will lead you in the right direction. First Step is there to help, so don't wait to contact them today. Our special guest today, Amber. How you doing?
Doing great. How are you?
Doing great. Blessed from the best. Try not to be stressed.
Always.
Glad you was able to make it today.
Thank you. Me too.
So tell me, where are you from?
Originally, I'm from Bullitt County, Brooks. Then I moved to Louisville when I was 13. I got adopted by family, so I moved.
Oh, for real? Mm-hmm. Oh, nice. So how do you like it in Louisville? What's different from Louisville and Bullitt County?
Well, for one, whenever I moved from Bullitt County to Louisville, it was a heck of a culture shock because the schools out there are predominantly white. So whenever I moved to Louisville and I went to Southern, it was a big culture shock for me. Louisville's a lot bigger, a lot louder, a lot more things going on. It's not so, I'm not even going to say quiet, but just like Bullitt County is kind of like little, or it was back in the day. Now it's gotten bigger, but still Louisville's just bigger, louder, a lot more things to do. People, you know.
Do you enjoy being here?
I do. I do enjoy being here compared to Bullitt County, yes.
Yeah. Have you ever used before?
Yes. 10 years.
10 years?
I used for 10 years. When I was 18 to 28, yes.
What started off your journey with addiction?
I'll say childhood trauma, death, grief, things like that is basically what started off. I had my first drink when I was 12 with my dad, but I didn't take off in my addiction until I was 18. I was with my family who adopted me, and I graduated high school, went to a sorority party with my cousin, turned my phone off. You know, being 18, you think you're grown, you can do what you want, right? So I go, drink, smoke a little bit of weed, come back home at like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. They weren't having it. They said I had a week to get out. I left in 3 days and didn't look back. And I dove headfirst into my addiction. And it started off with drinking a fifth of Heaven Hill a day. And then it progressed to popping pills. And then I started to dabble in crystal meth. And then me and crystal meth became best friends.
So it started with what you said, Heaven Hill?
Heaven Hill vodka by the fifth a day. Yes.
Dang.
Yes.
Sheesh.
Yes.
How did it affect you physically, drinking that much?
I mean, to be honest, I didn't really feel it. I mean, I didn't want to be like coherent, you know, because being in reality was way too painful for me. You know, I lost my mom when I was 3 years old to addiction. She drank herself to death. You know, her two loves were Jack Daniels and Jim Beam that took her from me. I had no memory of her. I don't know what her voice sounds like. I don't know what her hug felt like or anything like that. Lost my grandma, my stepmom at the age of 13.
Did they all die of
No, my mother died of kidney failure and cirrhosis of the liver. My grandmother died, I believe it was due to diabetes. My stepmother died because she had cancer.
Wow.
So, and I had to watch my grandmother and my stepmother die. You know, and growing up, I felt like that I didn't deserve to have a mom because every time I had one, she died. So therefore, I wasn't worthy of having a mother's love because they all died.
Wow, so you just basically like, you lost hope.
Yeah. I don't think I ever really had it.
Yeah.
If you want me to be honest, I really don't think I ever had hope.
No.
I really don't, because like growing up in Bullitt County, I'll say for me, you know, because I'm mixed race, you know, I was raised by my black family.
Did you ever suffer any like racial discrimination?
Oh yes, yeah. You're okay. You're fine. You're fine, sweetie. You're fine. But so my mother was white. My dad's black. My mother's family didn't want nothing to do with me. Mostly her father. He was full blown racist. Like nothing to do with me. My grandmother, who was his wife, tried to send me and my brother gifts and stuff. Right. He found out, beat her, because leave them alone. Like they're black, don't mess with them. You can just imagine what he would say. You know, I can't say it on here, but you can imagine what would come out of his mouth being racist. In my black family, one thing that I do remember is them saying, don't bring no white boy home.
Hold on a second. So
Yeah.
they didn't like each other, but they were together.
So
Like, how did that?
my
did that
mom,
happen?
so neither my mom nor my dad were racist,
Okay.
but their families were.
Okay.
Their families were toxic. They weren't.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Jeez.
it was very hard to figure out who I was because I'm literally in the middle of both races. You know, so my white family don't want me because I'm too dark, and my dark family is like, she's light, but still we're gonna try to make her blacker, or her kids that come after her blacker.
Wow.
You know, so I was stuck in the middle. I was confused. I was like, I don't understand. How can you tell me this knowing that I have this nationality? Like, you know, it was very confusing, upsetting, and disheartening at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, it was a lot.
Wow. I'm sorry to hear that. That definitely had to be a tough situation to be in.
Mm-hmm.
When both sides of the family, there's no family reunions going on there.
Definitely not. No, no,
Jeez,
definitely not.
man. Did any of the, like, when you got older, did any of the family members, like, on either side come around to being okay with each other?
No. So like my mom's family and my dad's family, they never. It'll never happen. You know what I'm saying? It'll just never happen.
Yeah.
But with my black family who raised me, I've been around them my whole life. You know, and there's still times even today that some of my family says snide comments, you know, and I have separated myself from a lot of my family because, for one, I'm not 12 no more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not 12 years old. I'm grown. And there's still some of my family members that are like, oh, well, you know, she posted only her white friends from her wedding on Facebook and da-da-da-da-da. Case being, I didn't have my phone. You know what I'm saying? I had other people taking pictures. You know, I was getting married. I wasn't worried about, you know, taking pictures and all that stuff because I had a photographer and everything else. So even still today, I still get backlash from some of my black family because they're like, oh, she married a white man. Oh, she's got white kids. Oh, she had kids with a white man. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, no matter like how hard we try, racism will always be there.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it's one of them things where I grew up learning to roll with the punches. And I'll tell you a funny story real quick. I think it's hilarious. But like growing up in Bullitt County, you know, there were a lot of white people who would say racist things to me, you know. So as I got older, I was like, I'm gonna take y'all's power from y'all, right? So I'm like, okay, y'all want to tell black jokes and things like that, so how about I tell the black joke first and make you uncomfortable, and then see if you laugh.
Kind of like a reverse psychology type
All day
of thing.
long, all day long. And they'd be like, oh, do I laugh? It's like, yeah, it's weird, ain't it? It's weird, huh? You couldn't hurt me. How does that feel?
Yeah.
And then I would walk away. So that was kind of like a power move on my part. You know what I mean? So yeah.
It's so sad that even this day and age, is still people are just racist out there. You know, black people, white people, Spanish people, and it's just like Asian. It doesn't matter. Everybody, like every group, and it's, you know, I don't bunch everybody together. You can't just say, okay, this one color just happens to hate every other. No, you know, there's people who look at people how they're supposed to look at them as human beings.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, we're just human beings.
Exactly.
With different shades, different nations, tongues, you know, things like that. And me believing in God, I believe that, you know, we all came from one man and one woman. At some point in time, I don't believe we involved. I don't believe in the Darwin theory. That's me personally.
Right.
But, you know, we're human beings, just different shades. You know, there's no reason to hate other people for any of that. Oh, I don't like because your skin's lighter, or I don't like because your skin's darker. That's dumb to me. It never made any sense. And I have family members, you know, who might not have like people with lighter skin or white people, you know, and it was just like, you know, I wasn't okay with it because my mom and dad taught me, hey, just treat a person how you want to be treated. You know, it just that's how you do it. It's not about how you look. It's about how you come.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly.
And it's sad that you just had to grow up with that mixture in between, like that constant battle, just growing up with hate on both sides coming together. And
it still happens today. It literally just happened today.
Wow.
It literally
Just
just
today.
happened today. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Man.
All because I'm light skinned.
That's wild.
I can't do anything about that. You know what I'm saying? There's not a single person in the world that can do something about the color of their skin or their nationality or where they came from or their heritage or anything like that. You know, and the fact that people feel like it's okay to just literally just pick apart the most obvious thing about somebody and be like, oh, that's nasty, or ew, you're this type of person because of that. Like, why? At the end of the day,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? It's not about skin color or anything like that. It's about who you are on the inside. You know what I'm saying? I'm more than my skin. I am more than my face.
Yeah.
It's about who I am on the inside. It's about my values, how I treat people, you know, my healing journey, the things that I've been through, if I'm trying to help people. You know, at the end of the day, that's what it's about, you know, and
Yeah.
that's why I'm here.
Yeah, it's about your, it's about your character. Mm-hmm. You know, you can be the best looking person out there with a horrible character, and you become the ugliest person out there. And
Yes.
and people fail to realize, I don't care what color you are. You know, your character is what matters. What's in your heart is what matters. And you know what's in your heart, the Bible says, comes out your mouth. So if you got hate, it's just because of a lot of hate that's in your heart. And you know what? A lot of people who hate other people, they hate themselves.
Yeah.
It's things that happen in their life. I believe it's a spirit behind every person who's pushing them and driving them to do so. I try to look for the deeper things in people. So I'm like, okay, what spirit is really? It's some evil spirit that definitely leading this person. But what could they have been through that making them hate this much?
Yeah.
It's just not making any sense. You know what I'm saying? And so you're saying that drove you to dig deeper into your addiction because of the trauma that happened when you were younger and experiencing certain things with racism and things like that.
Yeah. And like in my addiction, so like I didn't love myself till I got sober, if you want me to be all the way frank. Like, I did not love myself. I didn't know what self-love was. I did not respect myself at all. Didn't know what that was. There were people in my life that, you know, tried to teach me that, but like I was blocked off, you know. I had PTSD very bad from the things that I've went through in life. There's like certain parts of my childhood that I just don't remember.
Yeah.
You know, because it's blocked out. But my addiction, I would look for a man that was broken. A man that had 1,000 red flags, because in my mind that was a good time because it looked like a carnival to me, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? And I would try to love them so much to where they would love me because I didn't love myself. You know what I mean? And that
Would they
guy,
call that like love bombing or something?
I wouldn't call it love bombing.
No.
You know, I wouldn't like. So like whenever I say I would try to love them to where they would love me, it's like I would cook for you, I would clean for you, you know, I would cater to you, you know, I would try to love you like I wanted to, but 10 times out of 10 it bit me in the ass, excuse my French.
It wasn't reciprocated.
No, never. No. And also growing up, I seen a lot of abuse, like with my father and some of the women that he dated. I seen that. My brother, some of the girls that he brought home, he was abusive to them. So therefore, in my mind, I was like, okay, so if you don't talk down to me, call me out my name, put your hands on me, hurt me physically, emotionally, and mentally, then you don't love me, because that's what I was taught growing up. That's all I saw.
So you looked at it like, okay, that's why you said you picked the people with red flags, because
If you bought me flowers, chocolates, took me out to dinner, I'm like, ew, get away from me. That's nasty. What are you doing? But as soon as you were like, like just yelling, screaming, just being mean, I'd be like, oh, I love you. You know what I'm saying? Do you see where I'm going?
Yeah, definitely.
Because my perception was messed up. My perception was jacked all the way up because I didn't know any other way, because I was never shown any other way growing up.
Yeah.
So I thought love was abusive. I thought love was hurt. Love was pain. Love was torture. You know what I mean? That's what I thought love was. And in the end, that literally almost cost me my life with the last person that I was with in my addiction.
Wow. Do you remind me what happened?
I was with this person for a while. You know, I fell in love with the idea. I fell in love with his potential, or, you know, fell in love with wanting to love him.
Yeah.
You know, plus he was handsome, you know, still. But that, I digress.
Yeah.
You know, like the I love yous and the tender touches and the soft hugs turned into hateful words, black eyes, busted noses. Eventually being locked in a room with a deadbolt that had a keyhole on both sides so I couldn't unlock it without a key. And then eventually that wasn't enough for me to leave. It wasn't enough. Eventually it turned into me being locked in the shed and sold by that person.
What? Wow.
Yeah. It turned into that, you know, and I was the kind of naive person that was like, oh, that'll never happen to me, you know, that'll never happen to me, that'll never happen to me. It happened.
What red flags might have been that you seen inside of him that you're like, you know what, this guy might not be the guy, and you was in too deep in that relationship?
I mean, being locked in a room with
that was the,
you know what I'm saying, that being starved, you know, I remember one time vividly, me and this person were in a trap house and I was literally cooking pancakes, you know. Yes, we were high. Yes, we were under the influence. Yes, we were doing dope. You know, I was cooking pancakes and one of them was too dark for his liking. And he literally backhanded me.
dang. See,
But I didn't leave. That wasn't enough pain for me, you know, because my perception, like I told you
that's
earlier,
love.
that's love. You know,
Yeah, that's how
okay,
it's
well,
supposed to
okay,
be.
I made it too dark. I'm sorry. I'll wipe the blood off my lip and I'll fix you some more that are lighter. And that's what I did.
I'm trying to understand, like, people, man, people, listen. People, if you got a guy who's beating you, or a woman who's beating you, in a relationship, that's not okay, run. Because just like you said, you ended up in a position, and you know, even with the perception, but that guy could have literally taken your life at any time, man. That guy was,
There was plenty of times
it's
where,
crazy.
you know, my life almost ended. You know, I remember times where he choked me out until I passed out. And I'm surprised I woke up. There's a time where, you know, he ended up beating me so bad that I slit my wrist in the bathtub, and I still have the scar today on my wrist to prove it because I wanted to die. You know, but being in an abusive relationship on top of addiction and mental disorders and stuff like that, and like how you see yourself and if you have self-worth or not, like all that stuff plays a factor, you know, into being able to leave an abusive relationship. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't even know who I was. You know, I was just trying to feel something other than the pain, other than the grief of losing 3 mothers in my lifetime, you know, other than, you know, not having the family that I wanted or the family that I deserved, and going through racism and, you know, things like that, you know, like a lot of things like that, like pushed me into my addiction. But like I was trying to find love, and I was trying to find it in broken people, you know, hurt people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They do.
And that is so true.
They do.
And I didn't realize what self-love was until I went to treatment. So like back to the being locked up in a shed part. How I was able to get out of that is that he contacted someone and was like, hey, I have a girl that I'm selling for such and such amount of money, you know, come. This person came. This person knew me. I'll say my angel. When my angel showed up, he took me out of that. And then I called a lady that I looked up to like a mother. I don't look at her like that no more because she was just as sick as anybody else in our addiction. She came and got me, saved me, took me to Litchfield. I was there for a month. I ended up getting locked up out there, caught some charges. I was in Grayson County Jail for 5 months, and then I went to Hardin County for a month. And I ended up getting sent to Trilogy Center for Women, which is down in Hopkinsville, Kentucky. And I'm really grateful that I got sent to Hopkinsville instead of to the Women's Healing Place, because I held a bed at the Women's Healing Place for 3 months while I was in jail, right? And at that time, I was not trying to get sober. I wasn't. I was going to run right back to him, you know, because I was scared of him.
You thought it was gonna find you.
Yeah. And So, you know, God did for me what I couldn't do for myself and sent me to Hopkinsville, to Trilogy Center for Women. I did not know that I'm not even going to say damaged, because that's not even the word. I didn't know that I was that messed up in the head until I got there. Because while I was in jail, I knew I was safe. I knew that he could not get to me, you know. And then once I went to Trilogy Center for Women and I was out in the world, you know, where I was accessible to him, that's whenever my PTSD really just blew up. I thought that he was gonna get onto the maintenance crew that mowed the grass and things like that on the grounds of the rehab center. I thought he was gonna get onto that crew and get me and take me back. I thought that he was gonna sneak in my window and kill me. It was really bad. Like, I was having panic attacks. It was to the point to where, because we were in an all-women facility and it was pretty big. We had a pretty big cafeteria, and we had a man that would come in to do the vending machines. He would fill them up, take the money, you know, all that stuff. The first time he came in there and I seen him, I had a full-blown panic attack. And he was like 100 feet away from me, wasn't even looking at me, wasn't paying me no attention, and I just blooped. You know, I didn't see the worker, I seen him. You know what I mean? And throughout my time there, my therapist, the ladies that were in the program with me, the peer mentors, you know, the staff, they helped me work through that. You know, they weren't like, oh, it's going to be okay, and coddle me. They didn't do that. They were like, face your fears or leave. Because it's either going to kill you or help you grow, you know? So I faced all that while I was there, and there was one time where we were on a Zoom meeting because it was during COVID. So we were on lockdown, couldn't leave, you know, things like that. We had to do our meetings over Zoom, you know. There was a actual AA meeting spot down the street from Trilogy Center for Women called Rebos. I go in there, drop my meeting sheet off, you know, and I look on the screen, and he is right there on that screen.
Like he was
right
really...
down the street.
What?
On that screen. And I automatically shrunk in my seat. And when it was time for him to introduce himself, because in an AA meeting, I don't know if you know or not, but in an AA meeting, whenever you're new, they say, you know, if you're new to this meeting or visiting from out of town, can you please stand up and introduce yourself? It's not to embarrass you, it's just to get to know you. Mm-hmm. You know, that came around, it was his turn to speak. He stood up, said his name. I booked it out the door. Full-blown panic attack again, all over again. And that one was hard because he was literally right down the street, you know, and I kept telling the staff, I was like, I told y'all he was coming. Like, it just amplified everything. I was like, I told y'all he was coming. I told y'all he would find me, you know, and in my mind at that time, you know, he was coming. He was on his way to me, because, like, I don't know if he seen me or not on that camera. He never came, but in my mind at that time, he was coming. He was on his way to come get me. You know, and I didn't feel safe.
Wow.
At all. You know, and I'm not on any type of psych meds. I refuse. Because I sat with my demons, and I know that if I'm having a bad day and I'm on, like, let's say, Wellbutrin, you know, I'm gonna be like, okay, I can take 3 of those and I'll be okay. And then next thing you know, I'm gonna be like, that's not working. Let's go get some street drugs. You know what I'm saying? Let's go get a bottle. Let's go get a blunt. You know? So therefore, I do not medicate. You know, I fix my stuff with my sponsor, my husband, who I just freshly married in August.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And that's another point that I want to prove too. Regardless of the abuse that I went through, I'm not a victim. I don't like that mindset, because that gives him power. And excuse my French, but I'll be damned if you have power over me still. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You took enough of me and you're cut off. You're done. And the fact that I have a husband now who actually makes me feel safe, who showed me what a safe touch was, who showed me what genuine love was, communication, you know, I'm just absolutely floored with the fact that I have that kind of person in my life, because I didn't think I deserved that back then. I didn't think I would ever get to that back then, you know, and it's just a beautiful thing. I mean, yes, being 5.5 years sober is beautiful. Yes, it's great. But the promises that come true with your sobriety, like, people say you get your feelings back. Yes, you do. And they suck at first because you don't want to feel your feelings. That's why I got high, was to not feel my feelings, because I hated how I felt, But I can feel my feelings today, like I am right now. I'm emotional, but I'm still seated. I'm not cussing at you. I'm not running out the door. I'm talking to you. I'm sharing my experience so that way maybe I can help someone else out there who is struggling to get to the point to where I'm at.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To show them that, without fear, you cannot be courageous. Because facing my fears makes me courageous at the end of the day. And I do that every single day, and I just want to be able to talk to other people about that. Because there's a lot of people out there that need that inspiration, need that experience, strength, and hope. And maybe they're, in the dark right now, and they just need that one little candle, that one little light to show them which way to go. And maybe my voice, maybe my story, maybe my experience can be there for them. You know what I'm saying? And it's pretty much what I feel like my purpose is at the end of the day. That's why I survived everything that I went through. Is to help somebody. Even if I help one person out of 1,000, I know that I did something good at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, you definitely did. Definitely a survivor. Mm-hmm. A lot of women definitely go through those abusive relationships like that. And all of it stemming from trauma to you using to you feeling like you don't deserve better love than what you were receiving. You deserve not to be treated good. That's how you feeling. And so many people out there feel that type of way.
Yeah.
They got to learn to love themselves. And a key thing a person has to do is learn to forgive. You never forget, but hey, you know what? I'm not going to hold it. I'm not going to hold that on the inside. Because at the end of the day, that's like cancer.
Yeah.
Because that hate, you can't love. You can't love other people if you just got hate in your heart. So once you forgive, you know what? I'm not even mad at you anymore.
Yeah.
I love you. I forgive you. I hope the best for you. And bang, you know what that is? That's getting rid of all the power that person has over you.
Yeah.
That's getting rid of that cancer that's tearing you down, and then you're able to get that healing that you need to get. I always take it to the word. I know that I might be like, oh man, I was be preaching, but hey, you gotta learn to forgive, or you won't be forgiven. It's like a lot of us don't do. A lot of us look at this as being better than what we truly are. A lot of people have bad thoughts, does bad things. Some things seem worse than the others, but we all fall short as human beings.
Yeah,
we all sinners. It's just at the end of the day, people lie, people steal, things happen. You might think you're better than me. Oh, I never stole this, that. Or I never did this. And you look at another person, then you look at yourself. And yeah, things might be different, but at the end of the day, we've all done bad things before. So it's just once you learn. Also, you have to learn to forgive yourself.
Yeah.
So once you forgive yourself, you forgive yourself from even to the point of, because hurt people. So if you've been hurt in your life and you might have hurt somebody in their life, you might have called somebody a name before even as a child, and you don't know how that might have affected them in their life.
Yeah.
I talk to so many people and they still holding on with trauma that they had in middle school, elementary school, from people who just bullied them or just treated them badly. So I just imagine how much you've been through with your families hating each other, with you being in the middle, with you being in an abusive relationship where you almost lost your life. You try to self-medicate. There's so many people who are involved in addiction. They're just trying to escape the reality of the pain they're living in, the unforgiveness they're living in, the abuse that they went through, when they just, they'd rather just really die. I'd rather be dead than use myself to death than to do that. And then in the process, you do horrible things and things that you wish that you was able to take back.
Yeah, definitely.
And that comes with addiction. Dealing with people you don't want to be with, being in relationships with people that you shouldn't be with, but you're addicted. So then you just deal with
You're addicted and you feel less than.
Yeah, feel less.
You know, have you ever heard of the words pitiful and incomprehensible demoralization? It's doing things that I normally wouldn't do. Like, other than the abuse, you know, I also hurt myself too. You know, I said that I would never leave my kids, you know, but I did. I walked away from my kids because I was getting really bad in my addiction. So I walked away and I left them with their dad. And, you know, there were times where I sold myself. There were times where I slept on a basement floor. There were times where I took a quick bath in the Speedway bathroom. You know, there were times where I stole from the dope man. There were times where I would prey on older men, you know, that were like, oh, you're so pretty. You know, I've never had a mixed girl in my house before. You're so pretty. Da, 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 da. I'm like, okay, do you got any dope? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, cool, got you. Now that I know that you have dope, I'm scanning your house while I'm in there, and I make a call, and I take you to the back room, turn the music up, get more dope, have you fully distracted, but all your windows and doors are open, and everything gets snatched. But I didn't do it. I was with you. I have no clue what happened. You didn't lock the doors. Oh my God.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was a bad person too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was not an angel by no means. By no means. You know what I mean? And like, as you said, you know, we're humans, we make mistakes. Forgiving people and forgiving yourself. You know, it's, for me, I'm going to keep it on myself because I can't speak for everybody. For me, it's easier to forgive other people than to forgive myself. Sometimes, because I knew better. Maybe that person who did whatever they did to me didn't know better, but I knew better, but I still did it anyway. You know, and today I'm able to take accountability for the things that I do wrong, even if I don't know that I've done wrong. You know, so let's say that I did something wrong to you. Let's say that me and you had a heated conversation and I said some sideways, nasty, out of pocket stuff, right? You come to me and you're like, hey, look, what you said really hurt my feelings, or it really pissed me off. You know, I'm hurt off the back of that. You know, today I can be like, what did I do? How can I fix it? Can we make amends? You know, if we can, cool. You know, if not, I'm sorry. I will take a look at myself and figure out why I did what I did. You know, if you can't forgive me, cool, fine, that's on you. If you can forgive me, cool, fine, on you. If you still want to be friends, cool, fine. If not, fine. You know, but at the end of the day, I can take accountability for the things that I have done.
That's something a lot of people don't do, and it's hard for a lot of people to do.
Yeah.
Because I know, I just call it growth. You know, definitely growth, part of that growth and development.
Yeah.
Because at times in your life when you wouldn't have took accountability.
Yeah.
There's times where I sat back and I had trauma and I used to just rash out at people, had anger issues, and I'd be like, yo, it's this fault here. I'm blaming people from years ago about this. And I'm like, you know what? I had to sit back and be like, the problem is me. You know, so now if I do something wrong or say something wrong, I could be like, you know what? Hey man, my bad.
Yeah.
Sorry, yo, you know, we could, like you said, just exactly what you just said. Hey,
Communication and accountability.
You could do better, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you don't want to be around, okay, that's understandable. If you do want to be around, we could continue moving forward. But I was wrong on this. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm right on things, you know? But if I know I'm wrong, like you said, if I know better, I'm going to do better.
Right.
It's as simple as that. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it, be like, yo, sometimes players mess up too. Players mess up too. So you know what I'm saying? So like, yo, listen, man, my bad. If I just say something to offend you and I didn't mean to, you know? So it's like, you know, once you forgive and then you're able to move forward, that's just part of being in relationships and even in friendships. Yeah. Just all the way around. You got some people who just, they're pain and they're just so cold-hearted. They'll catch flight soon as an argument gets mad. They're like, they're ready to catch flight. And people ghost people all the time. It just seems like what it is.
And if that's the case, stay that way.
Yeah, if that's the case.
Stay that way.
Yeah, be gone.
If me and you can't sit down and have a grown-up conversation and be honest about our emotions, whether it's happy, sad, mad, whatever the case may be, if I can't sit down and have a genuine conversation with you and be emotionally intelligent with you, then you don't need to be in my life anyway, because I'm not trying to be around people like that. Unless you need my help and you're asking for guidance, then cool, I can help you then. Yeah. Or I can guide you in the right direction to get you that help. But if you're like, oh, I'm your friend, you know what this girl did? Da, da, da.
Yeah,
Like, don't
can't
do that to
stand
me.
that, man.
Please don't do that to me.
not.
Because as soon as I find out, like, just, you know what? Cool.
Yeah.
Block, erase.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
like,
there's no
you're
rea-
done.
there's
Like,
no
you are
reason
done.
even no reason even
Just be
involved
honest
with
up
you.
front with all that. Like,
That's
if
it.
you want some shady stuff, okay, cool. I hope you heal.
Yeah,
But stay
yeah.
away from me.
Yeah, for real.
But if you want some genuine, like, you know, like, I'm trying to do better, you know, this, that, and the other, whatever the case may be, as long as it's on some positive stuff, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
You know, but if you want some old shady snake stuff, no.
Yeah, don't
No,
be in my face saying this and
I
talking
keep my
behind
grass
back.
low,
Yeah,
or
I
I
don't really
keep
mess with
my
people like
my
that.
grass cut low so that way I know if there's snakes in my yard.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I mean?
You got to.
Like,
man,
for real.
Man, I be nice with people. But
yeah.
I try to be, like I tell people, man, I might not be a nice dude. I try to be good. I try to be good. I try to be a good guy. You know? But I don't be with the backbiting. I'm just too solid for that, man. I want to deal with people who got a solid foundation.
Yes.
Don't be shaky around me, man. The Bible says, man, you know what I'm saying? A double-minded person is unstable in all ways. That means no matter what you're doing, if you double-minded, you're this way 1 second, that you're unstable all the way around. You got a weak foundation, and right there, you're not gonna be able to stand under pressure. You're not gonna be able to stand on anything because you don't even stand on anything yourself. Your belief system is shakeable.
Yeah.
So then any
You
relationship,
have no core values.
Yeah, you got no core
Yeah.
values. So then you just anything you're involved in is gonna be shaky. Your business gonna be shaking. Your friendship shaky. Relationship shaky. Everything is shaky, and it's like, and then you'll sit there and try to blame somebody else or be mad at somebody else.
Victim mind stance. It's easier
Victim,
it's easier to point the finger at somebody.
Yeah,
And blame them for what's happening to you, or why you can't get that job, or why or why you can't stay in that relationship with that girl or that dude or whatever. It's easier to go like this. But we always forget that we got 3 fingers pointed right back at us. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
That's a good thing you said, taking accountability.
Yeah.
You know dang well you could have did better on that job you got fired from.
yeah.
You know you could have did, you done left that job. You seen everybody else in the job get promoted. You gone, you still mad about that job you done lost. So many people like that still blaming, dang man, so-and-so broke up with me, what, 20 years ago? You still mad about that?
Yeah,
You
victim,
ain't
a victim
looking
mind
to-
stance is deadly.
Yeah, you ain't
deadly.
You ain't learned nothing yet. You ain't sit back and be like, you know what, this person might have did this, but what could I have did better in the situation to make things a little bit better? I didn't have to add fire to the flame.
Yeah.
I understood it was a flame burning. I could have cooled down. I could have handled it this way, but you know what? They had flame. I had flame. We blew the spot up. You know, and it's
Like, there's a flame. I'm not gonna tell you that I had a whole can full of gas
Yeah,
over here, and I'm
just-
over here like
yeah,
this.
like, yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know what I'm
Like,
saying?
Yes,
Didn't do
I get
nothing
it.
to calm it down.
I
I'm
wholeheartedly
just
get
sitting
it.
here on top. I'm throwing fires to
Yes.
But then you sit back, instead of sitting back, take accountability, be like, you know what, but if I'd have been a little bit more mature, you know what, I could have handled it a little bit better and de-escalated the situation.
Yeah.
You know, and it wouldn't have ended up as bad as it was. I wouldn't have lost my job. Probably wouldn't have lost the relationship. Probably wouldn't have been kicked out the house.
Yeah.
All type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? If you just handle the situation, and then if you don't take accountability, you can't grow.
Facts.
You can't grow if you don't take. If you do not take accountability, you can't learn. So you're hard headed. Hard head make a soft butt. You know, so you decided to make that change. You started loving yourself. You don't have to forget.
I didn't know that was possible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't know that, I didn't know that loving myself was possible. Like, whenever I first got sober and everything, I didn't even know what my favorite color was.
Or what's your favorite color?
Simple as that. Green.
Oh, nice.
Like, because, like, in my madness, I was like, like, let's say that you told me that your favorite color is purple, right? So is mine. You want to know why? Because I want you to like me. Because I didn't like myself.
Okay.
If you liked heavy metal music, so did I, because I wanted you to like me. Whatever anybody around me liked, I liked too, because I didn't want to be alone.
But at
the end of the day, I was still alone. Like, there would be 20 people, around me, and I am still alone at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Because I did not know who I was.
Yeah.
And it was literally just wearing a mask, just taking this one off because it didn't fit the situation, picking another one up because it fits.
You didn't have
Constantly
your own
just going like
identity.
this. Constantly just ding, 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 like constant. Now I don't do that.
You found yourself. You found out who you are. You found your purpose. You found how important you are.
I stand in my truth, and something, a little saying that I've I don't know if I made it up or not, but I think it's pretty cool. I know I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and that's okay. Go get some coffee or water.
I like that. I like that.
Because it's true. I'm not going to be everybody's cup of tea. Like, you know, there's going to be
That's a
people
fact.
that watch this podcast and they're like, I can't believe what she's saying. Da 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 da. Woo woo woo. Okay, cool, fine. Go ahead, sweetheart. That's fine.
I'm telling you.
But there's going to be other people out there that are going to be like, okay, I hear you, sis.
That's true.
As they say nowadays, clock it.
Yep.
You know, like
That's what that means?
clock it. Yes.
I've been seeing. I'm like, what the heck is? I see people.
That basically
they say
means
something
that
like
basically
I'm like,
means
what the
that
heck
like
is
yes,
that?
I agree. Snap, pop off, sis.
Oh,
you
that's
know
what
what I
that's
mean?
what
Like
that is.
yes.
Okay, damn.
Yes.
I didn't know what in the world. I'm like, what the
I
heck
try
is
to
everybody
keep
doing?
up
It's like,
with the
that?
new stuff nowadays. I'm 34 years old. I try to keep up with some of the stuff nowadays.
See that, man? I think I'm getting too old. I'm getting too old, man. Every week is something new. I'm like, what the heck is this? What the heck is this? They're moving fast. People,
Yeah.
The internet, I don't know. They moving super fast. Every week is something new that you got to learn.
A new trend or a new dance or a new something.
This
Yeah,
done
it's
came.
wild.
I'm like, what the heck is this? I'm losing my mind.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
trying
wild.
to keep up. Try to keep up with it. All these trends on the internet, you're gonna need AI to help you with that. Cause people they're real creative out there. Let's just say
Yeah,
that.
I think it's a beautiful thing with the creativity that's on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, you know, all that stuff. I think it's cool and stuff at the end of the day.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But
good
like
little
I
chance
don't
to
try to
use
keep
your
up with the trends. I don't try to keep up with the dances and things like that. Like I just scroll through, watch videos, stuff like that. You know, I don't really post any
Get your
any
little laugh
content.
every now and then or something like
Yeah,
that,
you know what I'm
makes you
saying? Just like
move.
chill, relax mode. You know what I mean?
Facts,
But
facts.
yeah.
That's real now. That's
Yeah.
real. How so you got married, that's been going great.
Yes.
So
Freshly married.
Freshly married. Nice. Now you got someone who doesn't have all these red flags.
No, he's in recovery himself, and he's a beautiful man.
That's great. That's great to hear.
Beautiful man, inside out. Like one thing that like floors me about him, other than you know him making me feel safe, is the fact that like, let's say that you know I don't know the meaning of a word, right? I'm like, hey babe, what does such and such mean? And he will tell me. Whereas back in the day, it's like, you don't know that, you're stupid, and da-da-da-da-da. You know, like, he doesn't make me feel stupid for anything that I don't know. He educates me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He is safe. I know I know I keep saying that, but that's a big
important.
thing for me. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you
Like,
should- you
like
should feel
safe.
safe.
Like
Yeah.
so safe. Because like I used to think that silence was safety. Like as long as I'm quiet and you know you don't see me and you don't hear me, you won't hit me. Maybe I'll be able to eat today. That was my mindset back then. Today, I stand in who I am. I am loud sometimes. I am very goofy. I have a childlike mentality sometimes. But the thing is though, I'm also serious and I know what I want. I know what I don't want.
Yeah.
You know, and if some people don't like me, cool. If some people do, cool. I'm
Yeah,
fine. I'm fine
telling
either way because at the end of the day, like if I have 5 haters today, right? I think Cat Williams might have said this, but he said if I got 5 haters today, I'm trying to get to 15 before the end of the summer because evidently I'm doing something right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like even if I do have haters, that's fine. I'm not worried about them. I'm really not worried about them.
You always gonna have
It's
haters.
exactly. It's the people that love me and support me. Those are the people
Yeah.
that I care about their opinion because they are there to help build me up. And they'll be like, "Hey sis, you're moving wrong," or "Hey sis, you need to fix this," or "Why did you do it? What's going on?" Or like, "Are you feeling okay? You ain't been yourself." That type of stuff. That's what I want
that's
around
right.
me.
I know that's
You know
right.
what I mean? And if there's people around me that have already succeeded in the goal that I'm trying to achieve, which right now I'm trying to, you know, get my feet with being a motivational speaker. So therefore I've been shooting out strings like a spider trying to make connections with people, you know, so I can get that going because I want to be able to speak to people, to be that inspiration, you know, and I'm not scared of that. I'm not scared of my story. I'm not scared about my past. I don't care if someone like looks down at me because of my past and what I've done or anything like that because at the end of the day, I have forgiven myself and I have made changes and I continually make changes because I know that as soon as I feel like I know everything, I know it all, I'm done. I'm cooked. It's over. You know, because I don't know everything. There's a lot of things that I do not know. So therefore, I am like a sponge. You know, knowledge is power. It's beautiful. It's a lovely thing. And at the end of the day, it's me versus me. I'm trying to be better than I was yesterday. I'm trying to be better than I was an hour ago. You know, I'm trying to elevate myself. I'm trying to, you know, grow my knowledge on things, whether it's my self-love, my spiritual journey, you know, motivational speaking, my job at Goodwill at the Spot as a career coach. You know, I'm trying to figure out more things to better myself so that way I can reach back to those who are still needing help and pull them up. You know what I'm saying? Because who am I to gatekeep?
Yeah.
You know, what makes me so special to where I would be like, you know, I know this, but you can't know that. Who am I? I'm not God. You know, I'm not anybody super special like that. Who am I to? No, I'm trying to help heal instead of hurt. I've done enough hurt, whether it was inflicted on me or I inflicted it on somebody else, because it went both ways.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I hurt people hurt me, you know, back in the day. You know, but today it's not like that. Like I'm trying my best to be all that I can be and just continue to grow into who I am. You know,
It's a new day.
every day.
Yep.
It's a new day every day.
Yes, it is. It's a great thing right there. See that turn the pain into positivity, you know, and turn phase into triumph. And just because these certain things happen in the past, or I did this or they did that, that is gonna dictate the way I'm gonna turn out. You know, and a lot of people be like, yo, I'm just stuck. You're not stuck. You know, there's a way out. You just
Sometimes they haven't been shown any other way, and that's all they know.
Yeah.
That's why, like, and this is my own personal opinion, again, at the end of the day, I have a lot of those. I do. But sometimes, something that I've noticed, especially working at Goodwill, you know, with our youth, they don't see any other way. So sometimes they do feel like they're a product of their environment because they haven't been shown anything else. And they get to the spot, you know, and some of them are just so angry.
So what are some of the things
mad.
you might do to help the youth at the place that you're working at?
At Goodwill, they come in, they do an application. Clients come in, I believe that they do an application. It's a 3-class process. It lasts 3 weeks. They get an incentive, which they get money like $100, $150, and $100 for each class that they do. We help them build their resumes. We help them with life skills. We help them with communication, how to speak, how to dress. We help them get jobs, get their IDs, get their birth certificates, get their GEDs, because it's simple things like those last three things that I named that are keeping them from getting out from where they're at. You know, keeping them from succeeding, which is as simple as a ID or a social security card or a birth certificate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we help them get those things and help them figure out who they are. You know, try to help them move past the anger, because that's a big thing that I noticed with our youth, is that they are just so angry, so mad. You know, and it's understandable. It's understandable because there's no telling what their background is. You know, there's no telling what kind of home or lack of that they came from. There's no telling how they were talked to when they were growing up. You know, like there's just no telling what it is that stopped them from, you know, getting to that point of graduating high school.
Yeah.
Or that they dropped out in 6th grade because they didn't have no other choice because they had to take care of their siblings or something. You know, it's a lot of things, a lot of barriers, you know, that have been keeping a lot of our youth like in the streets, you know, things like that. I know that I can't speak for all youth when I do say this, but with the gun violence and all the death that has happened with our youth, you know, some of it's gangs, some of it's not. You know, some of them just carry because they are scared at the end of the day because of how bad it is here in Louisville with the gun violence. You know, and we have a lot of different avenues for them to take, and at the end of the day, all we're trying to do is just help them. You know, I worked at 7 counties before I went to Goodwill. I was a direct support specialist there, and I had my peer support certification as well. I thought that I wanted to stay working in addiction, helping women in addiction and things like that. And I'm like, yeah, I can still help them, you know, but I want to get to the root of the problem. You know, I want to start at the root, trying to heal the root so that way everything else is healthy, right? And since working at the spot, I'm not going to say that our youth is the problem, because they are not the problem. The problem is the fact that our youth hasn't been shown the correct way. They haven't been given a chance, whether it's by family, by society, by their environment, you know, whatever the case may be, they haven't been given that chance.
Yeah.
You know, and at Goodwill, that's what we do. We give them that chance back. So that way they can possibly, you know, have a better life than they thought that they could. Even if it's just a regular, you know, trade job like roofing or an iron worker. It's better than the streets.
Yeah.
It's better than, you know, hanging out Broadway and 26 at Dino's. You know what I mean? Because everybody knows what happens there. Like, it's like all we're trying to do is just help pivot them the other way. That's all we're trying to do. You know? So, yeah, it's just, it's wild. Because, like, some clients come in there and they're, like, you can just see that they're genuinely trying to fix themselves. And you got the other ones that are standoffish because they're scared. They're scared because they're like, oh, what if someone pulls the rug out from underneath me? You know, what if this isn't real? Like with the opportunities that we have there at Goodwill, you know, and that's understandable. Because like I said, we don't know their background. We don't know what they went through. We don't know if they have, you know, a mental illness that is, you know, hurting them at the end of the day. Like we don't know, you know, so therefore, me personally, I try to build a rapport with them so I can figure out what barriers we need to smash so that way we can get you to success. You know what I'm saying? Because yes, the end goal is getting you a job. Yeah. But how can you get a job if you don't have an ID or a social security card or a birth certificate? You know, like you can't.
Yeah.
You can't. So therefore, let me help you.
People, you hear it? If you know youth, if you know any young people, you might have some kids.
16 to 23.
16 to 23. Contact them. Let her know. We'll put the information up, and you can reach out to her and lead them in the right direction. That's what we're here for. The voice of the people. See what we could do to better our community, make the world a safer place, make the world a better place, help heal each other. And that's a great thing you're doing. Shout out Goodwill. Goodwill be having some, I'm telling y'all.
Goodwill is a game changer.
Goodwill be having all type of sources.
Yes.
So definitely from jobs and career coaches and you know,
They
things
help
like
you with
that.
everything.
Yeah.
There's nothing Goodwill won't do.
Definitely.
Like, seriously, like.
Yeah, they got a lot of Goodwill has so much stuff. They have partner day. They help you with medical. They help you with food stamps. They help you with direction. You know what I'm saying? So shout out, hey, reach out to her. You need that type of help. You know the youths out there. You got people in your schools who need the help. You got people in your neighborhoods. Take this info. Make sure you spread it and let's help the youths out. Let's do something to put a stop to this gun violence, to the anger that's in the children, to the drug use that's in the children, to the drug use and the anger that's in the adults. And let's just all work together to just make this world a better place. I appreciate you so much for coming on also.
Definitely. Thank you for having me. I really do appreciate it.
Hey, it was great. You know, you're a great person.
Thank you.
You're doing great things. Is there anything else you'd like to tell the people out there?
If you're struggling with, you know, if you want a better life at the end of the day, like something that I asked myself was, how bad do I want it? You know, how bad do I want a better life? Because at the end of the day, it's you versus you. You are in your own way. You know, there's no one else in your way but you. You have to heal. You have to learn to love yourself. You have to learn to ask for help, you know, and some of this stuff may sound scary, but at the end of the day, it is doable because I did it. There's plenty of people around Louisville who have done it and that are doing it. So if you feel like you can't, stop lying to yourself. Start telling the truth. Be honest with yourself, you know. It's so beautiful on this side of the tracks, y'all. I'm telling you right now, like, the grass is green, the sun is shining. There are days where it rains, but those days aren't as hard as they were in my addiction, you know. So just figure out how bad you want it. And if you want it bad enough, come get it. Because it's out there. All you got to do is look.
I know that's right. Help is on the way. Help is on the way. Help is here. Just reach out. Go down the list of the shows that we have. If you haven't checked them out, there's always people coming on with good resources. It's good to help out there. So just go down and check it out, man. And there's always good advice that we give it. So don't give up. God first. And hey, have a blessed day.